What's up, Kays? Welcome back to my channel. Anyways, today we have another character, dive in. Yeah. Last time we did like 4 characters, and I wanted to do all the ones that I had off the top, and that was just the ones I had off the top of my head. This time I've taken some time and gotten most of my characters, I think. Maybe. So first off is the goddess of death, Zanara. Zanara is, I explained her in the last one, she's the goddess of death. She helps people cross over. She has human form and a goddess form. Her human form is very nice, it's kind, it's the one that helps people go to hell and or heaven. Her goddess form is very dark clothes, dark eyelashes, etc., etc. She has a halo, which I'm gonna grab really quick. So this is her halo. It's has a long, it goes like this. You put it on like that. This is her halo. As you can see, there's one missing. I didn't take it off on purpose, it fell off, but so her magic comes from this halo crown, but she technically can't take it off. And when she was younger, her sister of light accidentally broke it, and now there is a feud between hell and heaven, aka why hell and heaven got separated, because originally it was just one place called, I don't know. Yeah, bye-bye. So next is the goddess of death, Raven. Raven is actually a pretty common name to have for a goddess or god of death. Yeah. Oh no, sorry. She's the goddess of darkness. It's common for someone darkness and whatever to have Raven as their name. She can shapeshift into a raven. Darkness is more like shadows. She'll help her sister cross spirits over if they need a distraction. She can talk to animals. She doesn't have a human form, but instead it's what I call a half form. It's almost human. She doesn't have like her horns, which is like Maleficent's horns, but those are off, but she can only be there for like 30 minutes at a time. It's humanish, but there's also still parts of her that are goddess-ish. We're gonna move on. Overall, she keeps to herself. Yeah. Next is the Keeper of Hell, Vena. I've named her Vena. V-E-N-A. Yeah. She's very nice. She doesn't talk a lot. She's the keeper of hell. She keeps the gates. She guards the gates. She doesn't have horns or a halo. She does wear dark clothes still. She actually has a staff. Yeah. Her siblings think she's mute, but a select few young hearts know that she actually talks, and she's very wise, and she gives them words of wisdom. She only has one form, and that is her goddess form. Moving on to the one-eyed killer, Kira. She only has one eye, obviously. Her story is very tragic. She was betrothed to the prince, who was abusive. She then left, got her eye taken out in the process of leaving, and vowed to save anyone who was in her position. She's called the killer because if she needs to, she will kill the man who was abusing the woman. Moving on is these next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people are all in the same story, just in case you wanted to know. Serena, the water fae. She's a water fae. Obviously, she controls water, only one form. She actually doesn't have gills like most of her relatives. And it's spelled Fay. That's important in a second. Next we have Amber, the fire fae. She's hot, she's fiery, it's a fire fae. Yeah, she's hot-headed, leader of the group, very much. Tragic backstory, really. I believe she's a fae, and I don't know if hers is spelled Fae or Fay. I forget. I'm gonna need to look into that later, and I'll probably put it in the comments. Anyways, next is Rocky, the earth elf. Earth elf, very sturdy, strong. He can move rocks. Really not much to say about him. I just realized my camera was crooked. Silly me. Anyways, there's not really much to talk about with him. Yeah. He's there. Next we have Gale. He is half wind spirit and half fae. So his hair is like, it's a wind, it will go down to his feet and then just stop. He can go into different forms, like he can go into his spirit form and go through walls if you wanted, pop in there. But his normal form is just humanoid, but with air hair. Yeah, so next is Forest, the plant elf. So let's say you got an apple seed, put it in dirt, and she can make it grow faster. She also can talk to plants. She basically knows like what they need, kind of. Yeah. Moving on, Sleet, Ice, Fae, Fae. Him and Serena will date. They aren't dating yet, but they will date. They like each other. He's an ice fae, but he has too much power. Last time he used it, he killed his parents. And it happens when he has a lot of emotions, which is why he's pretending he doesn't like Serena. So then he didn't kill her. A very tragic story. Don't you love when authors do this? Like, I hate it in books, but I will love doing it to my own characters. Evil. I know, we are evil. Right now I'm just doing like an overview, and then I'm gonna go more in depth in a second, but first I need to finish this. And last but not least in this story is Lily. She is a earth elf who went missing when she was younger, and she was found by the plant tribe and taken in. She's Forest's BFF, best friend forever. She's also Rocky's sister. They got in a huge argument when they found out that she was alive and not dead. Yeah, what a joyous moment. Next, I need to move on so I can actually go more in depth and not, yeah. Crystal, the goddess of light. Crystal is the person who accidentally broke off some of Zanara's halo. Her halo gives her power, and so she has to use less power. For Zanara, that's for Zanara. Crystal, she's very nice. She wears, actually I can get it right now. She wears this, like, oh no, she wears this in the back, and she's the heaven queen. Yeah, she's very nice and kind, and she loves young spirits and magic, etc., etc. She's super, voila. Now, if you've heard the other 3 people in this story, Zanara, Raven, and Venna, those are very complex names, except for Raven, but they're unusual names. But then there's Crystal. I think it's unusual because it's normally Bristol with a B, but this is with a C. Crystal. I haven't heard it a lot, so I shouldn't do that. But yeah, so that's why I did it. Next is the Masked Lady. I don't have a name for her. I don't have a very good story, but she has a mask on, and it's white, and she just goes through life almost like a ghost. A few people can see her, and she helps others even if they can't see her. But her story is about like a girl who can see her and makes it so everybody else can see her, basically. Yeah, anyways, next is just a queen. I don't know a lot of her story, but it's a queen, and like, yeah, I just have a queen. Yeah. I don't know why I have her on here. It's just I have a lot of queens and a lot of different my stories, so figured I'd mention it. Moving on, this is my second to last one. This is an alien species. Not a specific character, but just an alien species called the Janayan. This is actually based off of a person's name. Her name is Janaya, and I heard it wrong the first time and called her Janaya, and I just couldn't pronounce Ja with the Z-H. I still don't think I'm pronouncing it completely correctly, but it's very close. So they're called the Janayan, and it's very, they're purple. They're purple. They have, like, not horns, but kind of like the things on the halo, like tree branches, kind of. And they're a really nice species. And yeah, I have a specific character. And next is, in my story, a different story, one of my first stories ever. I don't know her name. Shh. Sorry. I don't know her name. I forgot it over time, and I think I actually have it in a Google Doc somewhere, but I don't know where it is, so. Lovely, I know. But, anyways, she's a princess who had to embark on a very long, treacherous journey to save her mother and find out her father's not dead. Yeah, it's very long. I won't get into her or the alien species or a couple of the other characters. But now let's go back and get into more in depth in their stories. So, Zanara, I quite literally forgot how to pronounce the name. Zanara. I hate my life. Yeah. So Zanara, Raven, Venna, and Crystal are all siblings. In one story. And their story is basically about, like, right now they're very separated, they hate each other, but they have to come together to fight something. I don't know. I haven't written down their story very much. Yeah. So they'll have to come back together as a family to fight this. I might even make a couple more characters for light because, well, there's 3 for darkness and 1 for light. I probably will make the person of life and the keeper of heaven, but I'll probably do that another time. I won't do that here with you. The one-eyed killer, Kira, her story is, I have never written it down, but I have it memorized almost by heart. What happens is, so her story is actually a murder mystery story, and it's through the eyes of a detective that I haven't named, but I'm gonna make a second one that's through her eyes. And in that book, it's like she goes to an inn, and the inn person lets her stay. She doesn't have any money, but she still lets her stay and work. And later that night, the prince finds her and almost kills the innkeeper, but Kira steps in front and he shoots her in the eye. which is how she lost her eye. Luckily, she didn't die. He said, and I quote, "If you won't be with me, fine, but then you won't be with anyone ever at all." And he was aiming to kill her, and he thought he did, but instead he just got her eye. Which I think is very cool, but yeah. So from that moment on, the innkeeper teaches her all she knows about self-defense, how to do a gun, and from there, Kira takes a horse named Honey and goes on travels and travels and travels, finding and helping women and telling them where the inn is, and then sending money with them to buy them stuff, to buy them room at the inn, etc., etc., etc. This was already pre-established with the inn owner. Eventually, at the very, very end of her story, she finds a man and settles down and has a baby, and they go back to the inn and name the innkeeper Godmother. So, this is a very short and dumbed down version, but it's very nice. And through the detective's eyes, when the first story through the detective's eyes, it will end where she actually is at the inn and she sees Kira, the one-eyed killer, and she corners her, and Kira explains, which the explanation goes into book 2, which I think that's cool. Anyways, so my next characters, Serena, Amber, Rocky, Gale, Forrest, Sleet, and Lily, are all part of a book I'm making called 5 Moon Mayhem. Now, I am going to publish this one. I'll probably publish others too, but like this is the one I'm working on. I'm working on it and working on it and working on it. But in this book, they all meet and they really have to save the world from the War Kingdom, or else it's just going to be the War Kingdom and everybody else is going to die. I'm not going to get into it a lot because it's far too much. It's even more than all my other stories combined, so I'm just, it's a lot. Yeah. Anyways, next is the Masked Lady. I don't know a lot of her story again, but she wears a mask and she's kind and she helps people as much as she can. She walks through life as a ghost, and few people can see her, and one that does see her decides to help her and to help her find her body and be able to be seen by other people, which obviously, yeah, they do that. And yeah, no, that's it. Honestly, it was gonna be a lot longer, but I dumbed it down a lot. That was a lot of talking. I really do hope you liked and loved and everything else with my characters. I'll definitely be showing you guys more. I might even cosplay them if you want that. Tell me if you do in the comments. But for now, I'm gonna say bye, K's. I love you all. Have a wonderful day or night, whatever it is, whatever time it is for you. And bye-bye. I shall see you in the next one. Bye!